Hey y'all, Crystal here. Today we're going to learn how to make the Fiore Cowl, which is a textured and lacy infinity scarf. It uses just one ball of Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton, which is about 186 yards of number 4 medium worsted weight yarn you'll need, and a 5mm crochet hook. My finished cowl measures about 37 inches long around and 4 inches wide. To make a wider cowl, you just continue with more rounds. And the stitch multiple is 3. If you want to adjust the length of your cowl, you want to increase by 3s. If you want to double, you can start with a chain of 216, but again, you'll need more yarn. We're going to do the smaller 37-inch. So you'll start with the chain of 144 and then slip stitch to the first chain to form a circle. Now make sure you don't twist that chain as you do that.
Since this is such a dark blue, I'm going to use a lighter shade of jade, same yarn, just to show you how to work this stitch. I also work this stitch in the round, so I have for my pattern, so I am showing you that way. Chain stitched a multiple of 3, I have 27 here, and slip stitched it together. So I'm going to start with a chain 2 just to get my height. It won't actually count as a stitch. Start the first forked cluster right into my first spot here by yarning over and inserting my hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, and we'll repeat that again. Okay, now I'm going to yarn over, pull through those 4. Okay. Then I will skip the next chain, yarn over, insert my hook into the 3rd, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the same,
Yarn over and pull up a loop.
yarn over and pull through those 4. Now I have 3 loops on my hook, and I will yarn over and pull through to close that. Now your very first one of the round will be the only one to have the chain 2 next to it, just to get your stitch up to height. Then I will chain 2, and I am going to work right into the very next chain for my next forked cluster. Yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the same, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 4. Now this is where I skip the stitch, the chain in between in this instance, yarn over, so I have 4, pull through. Now to close the second forked cluster, yarn over and pull through those 3, chain 2. So now I have 2 forked cluster stitches. I'm going to continue this pattern all around. I'll do it one more time for you here, and then I'll just finish up this piece and show you how to join at the end of round 1 and how to get started on round 2. Pull through those 4, yarn over and pull through the 3, chain 2. And we have 3 forked clusters for round 1. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. I am at the end of round 1 of the Fiore cotton cowl. I'm going to show you how to finish that round and get started on the next one. So I have my last 3 chains left to work into my very last forked cluster stitch. I'm going to finish that up. Okay, So to end my round 1, I end with my chain 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first forked cluster stitch. I have the second part of it, the first part of it, in the chain 2 that I used to start my round. So not here, but on the top of the forked cluster stitch is where I'm going to insert my hook and yarn over for slip stitch there. So that's going to give me a join there to get started on round 2, which is just a repeat of round 1. So I will chain 2. And this time when I do my forked cluster, I am going to be working on either side of the cluster that's already there. So I will yarn over and I'm going to go back into this space right here, right before the actual forked cluster, and be forming my clusters there. So yarn over, grab my yarn and pull it up, do that again, and then pull through 4. Now I will repeat that in this space, this chain 2 space here, like so. Pull through 4, and yarn over and pull through my 3, and chain 2. Okay, so let me get a little length of yarn there. All right, so there's 1 and 2. They're going to be sitting right on top of each other, and what's happening is the spaces in between are actually going to be highlighted by this stitch. So as we go, this is where your eye will be drawn. So we'll just continue. Now in each chain 2 space, you're going to squeeze in 2 of these, whatever you want to call them, half forked cluster stitches. The first half, there. And then we'll do the second half on that side in the other chain 2 space, there. And then we'll bring those together. So you have fork cluster on top of fork cluster, chain 2. And you can see the chain 2s where you get started, but as you go, they become less apparent compared to this starting one. And it provides a pretty seamless join. So again, for round 2 and on, you are working your forked clusters into the chain 2 spaces on either side of the forked cluster stitch you already made from round 1. And you will also continue to join in the same way at the end of your round. You will chain 2 and join with a slip stitch to the top of the forked cluster stitch, not your chain 2. Those are not counting in the pattern.
From here, you're just going to repeat this one round, round 2, for 6 rounds total if you have enough yarn. If you're doubling the length or making any modifications, you can repeat it to the width that you desire. Next up, I'll show you how to add the picot border. Okay, now we're going to add the border. So I've slip stitched to the top of my first forked cluster, and now I am going to single crochet in the same spot, then chain 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch back down to the single crochet to make my little picot stitch. Now I'm going to slip stitch over to the next forked cluster, and I'll repeat single crochet, chain 3, slip stitch back down to the single crochet. You can find the Fiore, this textured and lacy infinity scarf pattern, free on my blog, as well as many other crochet patterns and tutorials. I'd love for you to stop by. Okay, when you get back around, you can just slip stitch to that first one, cut your yarn, and then you're going to join on the bottom and work the same picot stitch border there as well, and then you'll be all finished.